Hello, staff. This month's training is going to be on a historical figure chatbot. The objective of this training is that by the end of the session, you will be able to create a character chatbot in School AI or Magic School and provide them to your students so that they can have conversations with historical figures or characters from a book. Okay, so before we begin, I am gonna just go over the next few slides. You will be provided this slideshow afterwards, but I do want to go over it just so you can have an idea of what the slides contain, and then I will jump over to the live version and actually show you how to create the space. So on this slide, you will see the step-by-step instructions on how to create the space. So you can refer back to this if you'd like to, if you need some help. You are going to be provided a prompt, a template prompt, and to access that, you can see here that on number 4 it says insert the character slash historical figure chatbot template prompt. If you notice, chatbot template is underlined, and that is because the template prompt that I mentioned is linked there. So you will see me pull it out once we get to the live version, but just so that way you guys know where to access it for yourself, that's where you're going to get it from. Best practices for educators. So on this slide, it's just kind of giving you some tips to make sure that everything runs smoothly. So the first one says, keep the personas, profile, and source documents up to date to ensure accuracy. So if you create one now, you want to make sure that if you use it again months later, you make sure that everything on the whatever you've uploaded as far as like the article or anything, you want to make sure everything is updated because you don't want them to be chatting with them and it not be updated because remember, it goes based off the information that you provide. Next is phrase instructions clearly so students understand expectations. So you do want to insert easy to read, simple instructions so that the students are not confused later. Configure guardrails to respond politely and redirect when needed. So the guardrails is what helps, if they're going off topic, then the chatbot will know they're going off topic. We need to redirect them back to what is being talked about. Use example dialogue snippets to model appropriate interactions. So the chatbot won't really know what you would deem as inappropriate. So it's good to input some examples of what an inappropriate interaction would be. So they know that once the students start saying, things that are inappropriate, then it knows to redirect. And then the last one, encourage reflective on topic questions that deepen learning. So we don't want them to just be asking silly questions. We wanted to really get their mind thinking about the character or the characters or the historian's life, right? Okay, so now on this slide, this is where we have most of the links. So if you click on the boy, that one will take you to directly to School AI, and it'll take you to the template that's already created. If you click on the folder, the blue folder, that one has a article attached for Harry Potter. So that is the character that we are going to be using for this training. And then if you want to try a chatbot that's already fully made, just so you can kind of see what it would look like, you can scan the QR code and enter that code, and then it'll take you to one that's already created, just so you can kind of get a feel for what it'll be like. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started with the live version. So I am going to jump back over to slide 3, which has the step-by-step instructions. These are step-by-step instructions on creating the space if you are going to create it from scratch. However, we have provided you the link for the prompt and the link for the already created space. So all you would have to do is go in there and edit. But these instructions are here in case you would like to create the space from scratch. But we are going to go ahead and click on this link here where it says chatbot template, just so we can see that. So this is what we entered into the chat bot so that it was, already ready for you. If you were going to create it from scratch, you would have to go in there and paste every single section here. But like I said, it's already created for you, and I'll show you that in just a second. But I do want to go ahead and go over what we input so that you're aware. So first we gave it an introduction. And it says this template is designed to help educators set up engaging and educational chatbots that simulate conversations with a specific character historical figure. It provides a framework for knowledge integration, on topic conversation, and student redirection using the voice and perspective of the selected persona. Okay. The next section would be the character or the historical figure profile. So here, the only information you need really is who you're choosing. For this example, we are going to use Harry Potter, which we'll get into in a second. And then a brief 1 to 2 sentence summarizing who this figure is. This part is optional. You don't have to add it, but if you wanted to be, specific about the person, you could add a couple sentences here. Then the source document. So this is any information that you feel would be helpful. I did provide an article on Harry Potter, so I will show you that in a second. But let's say you choose a different character, a different historical figure, it would be helpful for you to include an article or a website, anything that has information on that person's history or character. That way the chatbot has more information to go based off. And then you have number 3, which is the guardrail rules and on topic redirection. So if the students are getting off topic, this is the prompting to the chatbot to make sure to keep them on topic, to redirect them back to the topic if they are going off topic. Next is the example dialogue snippets for redirection. So this is kind of prompting the chatbot what to say when they get into those situations where the students are getting off topic. So for example, the student says or uses inappropriate language, then the historical figure or the character, in this case Harry Potter, would respond, I always appreciated conversations that remained civil and kind. Let's refocus on my story and experiences. Is there something you'd like to ask about my life or decisions? And then it gives, there's a few other examples. And then number 5 is the conversation starter. So here are some prompts for the students in case they're not sure what to ask. I believe they do pop up in the chat. So some suggested prompts. So for example, what challenges did you face during your important moments? If you could give advice to someone today, what would it be? How did your experiences shape your perspective on blank relevant topic? Or what was your proudest or most difficult moment? Or how would you react to a modern problem? So those are some questions that the students can ask the character. And then lastly, these are some instructions for the teacher. So you do need to replace the bracketed placeholders where it says character, historical figure name with specifics. So wherever it says this, it has the brackets with this inside of it, the character / historical figure name. You do need to change it to whatever character you chose, and not on this slide. It's going to be in the actual template, which I'll show you in a second. You do need to add or adapt source materials as needed for accuracy. So like I mentioned earlier, the sources, you do want to add sources for the character that you chose, and as well as making sure that it's accurate, meaning up to date. Ensure conversation redirection stays in the voice and historical context of the persona. Okay, so this is the template. This is what we entered into the chatbot to create the chatbot. But luckily, the chatbot is already created. So really, all you need to do is, so I clicked on this link right here, and it took me to the template. You can also, really quickly, I want to show you. If you go back to this slide, if you click on the boy, this also takes you to the template. Okay. Next, once you've got it opened here, you're going to click on Remix. This allows you to edit it. So here we have it titled Conversations with Intent. You may switch it to whatever you'd like. Then here is the template, or the this right here. This is what we input. So that is, that is all right here. So all you need to do is you need to go in there and change any of those bracketed options. So here it already has replaced with Harry Potter, so you don't need to change that. If you are doing a different character, then you would need to change it there. Then you need to just kind of search for it, look for the different sections that have those bracketed areas. So like right here, character slash historical figure name. Here you would need to change it to Harry Potter. Okay. Um, then what else? That is the template. Then down here, this is where we entered the article. Let me go back and show you that really quickly. That one is located on the blue folder. So if you click on that, it opens up the Wikipedia page. So this is the article that we uploaded. It has all the information about Harry Potter. Okay. So if you are changing the character, if you're not doing Harry Potter, then this is where you would upload. You would click upload a file under the standards, and you would upload the whatever article or website or anything that you're going to share. Okay, then here is the teacher description. This is the instructions for you. It's just letting you know that just what we had earlier. This is down here, instructions for educators, letting you know what you need to do. And here you can put a student description if you'd like. We didn't put one, but if you'd like to add one, you can. So now it's pretty much ready. We're going to go ahead and click Start Preview so you can see what it looks like. Okay. It does have the option to speak. So if you have some non-readers, it does read it to them. So they would click on the speak button. But it does say, so before we begin, this is a learning activity designed for K through 12 classrooms under the guidance of a teacher. In this activity, I'll do my best to represent Harry Potter accurately, but remember this is an emulation and might not be perfect. Do you understand, and are you ready to proceed with the conversation? So the student would respond yes. Okay, then it says, I'm Harry. It's odd to be talking like this, but welcome to Hogwarts, sort of. Before we start, remember this is a classroom activity emulating me. Ready to learn and ask questions? Then it says, tell me one thing you want to ask about my life at Hogwarts, a tricky choice I made, a spell or creature, or how I handled loss and leadership. Pick one. So here are those prompts that I mentioned. So let's say that the student says, ooh, I want to talk about a creature. So they respond a creature, and they can even speak. So if they're also strugglers with typing, then they can speak their answer. Good choice. Which creature did you want to hear about? Hippogriffs, basilic, dementors, or something you've heard of? So then they just keep responding, and it goes back and forth, and it basically goes off of the article. Okay, so that's basically what it looks like. Once you like it and you're ready to share with your students, you're going to come up here and click on Save and Launch. So now this is where you can share. You can either use a space code, which is kind of like the one I showed you on the slideshow right here. This code, they can scan it with their computers, or you can you can add it to your Google Classroom. So you can create an assignment doing it. You do have to enable some permissions, that way it has access to your Google Classroom. But once you do that, you're able to directly create an assignment, and then they'll be able to click on it on their Google Classroom and access it. And that is how you use School AI. Thank you.